Before we get to what Dele Farotimi said about former President Goodluck Jonathan being the president of this country again, I'd like to address one thing, a comment that somebody left for me in the video I did yesterday. The person said I should get my facts right, that David Mark did not form ADC. And my apologies, you're right. He is not the founder of ADC, which is African Democratic Congress, right? Before now, a lot of us were not into political things, that we didn't even care about political news. We didn't, a lot of persons didn't even used to vote. It was until APC came and then the hardship was so much on people. So everybody felt like we could actually do something about this change by casting our vote. That was why there was that massive turnout in the 2023 election. So it was ever since then everybody became interested in politics, because we are now seeing how much politics are impacting on our lives in that term negatively. So we all started joining political things. So when I started seeing the whole coalition thing, the name that was on top of it was David Mark, David Mark, David Mark is even still on top of it. So I naturally just assumed that David Mark is the founder of the ADC, but the founder of ADC party is Ralph Oke Nwosu, and he founded ADC in 2005 under a name Alliance Democratic Change, something like that. But you see the full name on the screen. But it wasn't originally African Democratic Congress. It was later registered under INEC as African Democratic Congress, as opposed to the name Alliance for Something Change that it was. And the RAF, okay, Nwosu now, is the founder and the pioneer chairman of ADC until coalition came. Coalition is just simply other opposition parties coming together to form a strong alliance to try to defeat the interim president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the likes of Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, and Peter Obi, that was in the presidential race for the last general election, they are coming together, and the interim chairman for the ADC, the African Democratic Congress, is David Mabo. He did not found, like, he's not the founder of that political party. That's just to clear the air. And back to what Dele Farotimi said, he spoke my mind. Like, Dele Farotimi spoke my mind, and I believe he spoke the mind of a lot of Nigerians, because the last video I did to talking about Jonathan trying to become president again, telling maybe their speculations, and there's a video to back it up, telling Peter Obi to step down so he can be president. Given the comments I saw under that video, I believe a lot of Nigerians also do not believe in that thing. So let's get back to the video of Dele Farotimi before I come back and say what I have to say. So over to the video.
1,000 Goodluck Jonathan cannot solve the problems of Nigeria. They might very well go ahead and increase his brain power by a factor of 1,000 for good measure. If we do not address our structural problems, and if we are incapable of telling ourselves the basic truths that we hold to ourselves, then nothing is going to change. They can recycle all these people as many times as they care. This was the same Goodluck Jonathan that was horribly vilified, labeled. The press went into overdrive in this country, the pulpits and the mosques everywhere. Goodluck Jonathan's removal will solve the problems of Nigeria. And then here we are. We're going back into the past to dig up the past. That was how we dug up the one that just expired. I don't believe that our problems are going to be resolved because we change personnel. The problems we have in Nigeria goes beyond persons. If you removed Bola Ahmed Tinubu from office today, if you do not touch that evil system that produces the kind of people who have ruined this country and that has consistently assured that we've remained Lilliputians when we are giants, all this talk about Goodluck Jonathan is just more distraction from the political ruining crabs. We're not looking for saviors of Voltrons. It's about building systems, enduring systems, building a country. How do you rebrand the failure of 2015 into a saint and a savior in 2025? How? 10 years, we've gone full cycle, and we are back at a situation where we are saying that we were better off where we were in 2015. So maybe Buhari might as well have done all of us a favor. Maybe he shouldn't have waited 10 years, because I'm sorry. And now this is not about me discounting his humanity, because we are now saying that we should go back 10 years to do what? Exactly what? So I'm sorry, I'm not enthused with all this talk about persons. We should focus on the system. How do we ensure that we're able to produce people who care about Nigerians, people who would ensure that Nigerians are brought out of virtuous servitude in which we are all living miserably? We should talk about real issues.
Well, Mr. Farotimi,
Dele Farotimi is a legal practitioner. He hails from Oyo, Osun State. He studied in Lagos State University where he bagged his law degree. He has his own law firm and he was the official spokesperson for Labour Party in the 2023 general elections. For those of you that don't know him, Dele Farotimi is a proper comrade. To begin with, the whole coalition thing is not something personally I trust. I don't trust it because these are the same people, right? Atiku Abubakar have been vice president for 2 terms under President Obasanjo. They are trying to encourage former President Goodluck Jonathan to join the ADC. He was president for 5 years and 24 days because he was actually supposed to be president for 4 years. But after Yaradua died, he became president for 1 year and 24 days. And to add to his own was what made it to the 5 years and 24 days. And the other people, Senate President, the former Senate President David Mark was Senate President for 2 terms. He was a senator long before that, and it's just this from this, I think, 2 previous elections that he's no longer senator. If not, all of these people have been in power, and they have pulled in the likes of El Rufai. So they are just all political veterans, and from the time when we didn't even used to care much about politics, there's something we cannot deny, and that's the fact that these people have just kept the campaign. So let me give you an example of what happened when I was much younger than now. So I was in Bauchi at the time, and then at the time I got to Bauchi, they just rounded up election for that year. That was in 2007. Yeah, 2007. And then there were posters of what was the name of this man? Mwazu everywhere. He was the governor before Issa Yuguda just came in at the time. And a lot of persons were complaining already. So Issa Yuguda was under, I think, AMPP or something PP, and Mwazu was under PDP at the time. So what Issa Yuguda did was, after he joined, he became governor under that party. What he did the moment he came in was he decamped to PDP. So that's further blocking the chance. That's just me now thinking, blocking the chance of Muazu coming back to actually contest with him in the next election, because I think Muazu did just 1 term. It was the second term that Issa Yuguda defeated him. So I think at that time he got married to Yaradua's daughter. Yes, it was around that time. Yeah, he married Yaradua's daughter. I know, I can remember that that thing was a big thing in Bauchi at the time. So basically, what these people do is they always keep this thing going round. They keep the campaign. Today I'm with APC, tomorrow I'm with ABGA, next tomorrow I'm with PDP, the other day I'm with this party. There's a lot of this smaller parties rising, and a few offices are being won in those parties, not very recognizable. That's why we don't even know the host of the political parties we have in Nigeria. So why are we trying to recycle our own pain? Like, I feel like the whole political ecosystem in Nigeria is just a very mixed up place, because these same people, some of them have already been in power. How well did they do? Now let's talk about the Jonathan. In 2013, was that 13 or 14? We were on strike for legit 6 months. That delayed my graduation by another 6 to 9 months or 1 year. So it is this same cycle. Okay, yes, when APC came, the hardship became bad, really bad under Buhari's tenure. And Nigerians, we felt like this is the worst we can possibly have, that it cannot be worse than this again. This has to be the height of it. Not knowing that what we went through at that time was only preparatory stage. It's like crutch of what we are seeing in this new regime. So the fact that the last past regime was bad and this one tends to be worse doesn't mean that when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was president, he was also good. So are we now trying to say, okay, Ebele Jonathan's time was bad, the one after him was worse, this one now, this government they carry us go where we don't know, so we should return back to something that was bad because this is worse? Because that's, to me, recycling the same old thing. If we don't change our policies, nothing is ever going to change. It will just be the same old people recycling, coming and going. Tomorrow, you see the vice coming. So it's now becoming like a norm that if you're a vice president, you have to be a president. Because, well, the way Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's own happened was more, Yaradua was sick. He wasn't feeling well. So Jonathan had to be acting president for a while before Yaradua passed, and then he became president, and then he had to run again. Because I feel naturally Jonathan would not have, he didn't have that much of a political backup when he became the vice president. But when he became acting, of course, power has started coming, and then he became president. So that's power. So now he wants to be president again. So the whole thing to me is just us trying to recycle things. And I pray for the betterment of this country. But I don't think coming to recycle the same old people that brought the system where it is right now is the way forward for Nigerians.